He plays LSU in an hour and 15 minutes. MIZ beat the Tigers. Beat LSU. Okay, so today, everybody get your head on straight. We're answering listener questions for not one show, but two. So we'll have the questions. We'll have Sunday night show. They'll have questions. And then you get a break over the weekend until Sunday night. Then we'll get together again.
There you go.
No, you have to listen to us every day.
Right.
Go back and find an old show you haven't heard, or
you find the old call-in shows from like 2009. I haven't even looked at those, but I bet you those are hilarious. Just like what we talked about. Well, remember when we started, I used my we are so old that when we started doing that, it was my house landline that we used.
Yeah.
I had a toaster from the radio station that I plugged in the actual phone line. It was my house phone number, 921.
Yes, it was
556. It was the house number. So I would get random calls every once in a while, just randomly. But yeah, I plugged it in. It digitized the actual analog phone back in the day, and that's how we did it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the rack right here, I could use it right now. We don't have a phone line anymore. We haven't had one for years.
So I want people to write in and let us know: are we getting better?
Oh no!
I don't want to know.
Don't do that! Don't do that!
Scotty landing in Detroit.
Nice.
South Detroit. Faithfully. Don't stop believing. Okay, let's do this. We got
don't stop.
All right. 1836. Here we go. If you have questions, we need questions. Put them in the chat, please. If you have questions, except for I have muted the terms Disney's Magical Express and Extra Magic Hours. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And when will any question that starts with when will?
Yes.
Ready to be open by the time this show publishes.
Probably at this point. Yes, exactly. Space 220 will be open by the time this opens.
Yep. Food will be in my belly. No, I wish. Okay, here we go. I'm totally wearing my flight suit my first time I go to Space 220 for the record.
Of course.
I have from Space Camp. That'll be epic.
That's awesome.
I was there for the opening of Mission Space with a bunch of Space Camp buddies down over that summer. 2003, I think. No, 2002, I think. Anyway. Tanya's in the mine train queue. She listened to the live show last night she listened to the entire show while she was in line for Tower of Terror. At the
nice.
So now she's over at Magic Kingdom. So there you go.
Wow.
Have fun. Hope he's my favorite. Tell him I say, hey, missed you this year, buddy. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, Megan was typing a question and we just disqualified.
Oh, Megan, you can ask it. We were just kidding.
You're saying, how do I get to Extra Magic Hours by only taking Magical Express?
When will magic, right? Yes. Truth.
Dan, we're down in OKLAHOMA. Okay, we got to do this. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1836 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. How many of you guys could actually say that opening by heart, right? If you've been listening to the show for any amount of time, I don't even start thinking about the show until about 2 minutes in. I just, hit the button. It's like Pavlov's dog. And just start saying those lines. I should probably switch it up, but I'm an old dog and I can't learn new tricks.
We should let some people record that blurb and we should put it in.
Yeah, no. I don't want to make it any harder than it is, man. We do fortune. It's crazy. Seriously, there's a lot of work to these things. I have a workflow, people, and I eat the same lunch every day. You guys, I eat the same dinner most nights. Change is hard for me. So
no,
2020 and 2021 have been a challenge, but we're making it through. We're going to make it. All right. And speaking of that, we're going to be answering the listener questions today. If you are joining us live on the chat, give us some questions there in the comments and we'll take care of those. We have lots in the inbox as well. So we are going to extend the listener questions not only today, but into Friday. So that'll be I like the questions because we can talk about all kinds of stuff that's going on. So joining me today to talk about stuff, we have Ricky who writes stuff. Over at thematchforless.com. What's up, Ricky?
Stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. That's what's up. Yeah, no, just getting ready for what craziness. Yeah, really, seriously, I just feel like that's pretty much all I keep writing about is something crazy. So stuff. That's it.
So, okay, let me ask you, because you are the theme park guru. You have all the rumors. You have all the knowledge. Disney calls you at least 90 minutes before any news breaks.
100%. Yeah, if only.
It is Wednesday. We recorded the show on Monday.
Yes.
Are we riding on little mice back in France and eating crepes on the way out? What's your call?
I go no. I say no. So sorry. I am very sorry, especially because I am actually headed to Orlando this weekend and was hoping to ride some mice, but I don't think I will be. So no mice for me. Sorry. No mice for me.
No, I think you will. I have I don't know. Like I have a sense.
No mice.
And is it sad? Oh, Pam Foster's also joining us, as she does every Wednesday and Friday. Co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday, Pam. Let me ask you this. You know, it's sad, but when I started seeing some of the photos coming out this week, I got excited because we have some pretty sweet new bathrooms by the International Gateway. Does that make me a geek, or does that just make me weird?
Hello. Of course, you need to know where the best bathrooms are, especially if you're going to be there during a busy time. I think knowing good bathrooms that are sort of out of the way, and by the way, the good bathrooms are always the bathrooms that are more modern.
Yes.
Like, if they've been built in the last 5 years, to check.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
the place to visit because they're awesome. And still, those bathrooms in America, the best bathrooms in the world.
Correct. You know what we need to do, Mike? We need to redo our show about the best bathrooms in Walt Disney World.
Oh, 100%.
It has been a long time, and we did the worst bathrooms too, and I know that list would change. Although they are fixing one, I think, of the leftover worst bathrooms, and that's Morocco. And so right now they're working on updating the Morocco bathrooms, which were definitely a step in time, I think, if you went into those bathrooms, which inevitably I always did go into the Morocco bathrooms because I'd be like, at that point, I'd be like, dang, I should probably go to the bathroom here. So
the best ones were in Marrakesh, like inside the actual sit down restaurant. You go in there, you just they didn't know if you were like a customer or not. I mean, on New Year's Eve, all bets are off, man. But Marrakesh was my secret. So
I planned my whole Epcot day around, when I'm going to be near the America restrooms, how far am I away from the America restrooms? Because it's my preferred bathroom in all of Disney World.
I have different ones, so we definitely should do another bathroom show.
Doing this show again because I think it was like 2010 or something when we.
It was a long time ago. Yes,
ages. But check the wiki because it's there. But here's the thing: you guys mentioned that the new bathrooms are where it's at, but here, you know what? When I walk into like an old bathroom, I mean, I'm talking like those bathrooms up by Spaceship Earth on the way out of Epcot. That play that old background loop, or I'm trying to think of another like old vintage.
When they've been opening the one there by Imagination, they've opened that one recently. Remember for a while that was closed. That's a good one because not many people know about that bathroom. So it's literally you and maybe one other person that's been going to Disney World for as long as you have. So that, but some of those ones were just bad. Like the Germany one typically you have to pay me to go into the Germany.
Wait, I didn't even know Germany had bathrooms. So that tells you that
by the train.
I like those bathrooms.
Oh, you know what? I haven't used them in years. So
it's to your credit.
That's probably a good thing. This weekend I will make it a mission to go into the Germany restrooms just
take pictures.
No, I'm not being that creeper, but just
you need to be able to show people when things are bad.
If I'm in there at the urinal and I hear I'm like, what?
Is Brian going to have Brian take pictures too?
Yeah,
I will say we've many times taken a shot of that picture of the mural in the Rails Inn bathrooms many times. And you're always like, dude, just take it and run. Because,
just stick your hand in there and take a picture.
It's okay. We got to get to the question.
All right, let's go. We got good questions.
We do.
Yes, we are going to do that show in the next couple of weeks because we need to revisit that. It's the winter time. I mean, what else do you have to talk about?
It is. What else do you have to talk about? The bathrooms.
All right, Megan Green, who is the mother of triplets. So again, God bless you. She says her question, because we joked about, we disqualified her question because it was about comments that we've been talking about.
We would never disqualify a question.
She says, I was just going to ask if we know when the new Extra Magic minutes or whatever they are being called are going to start. I've heard the details on how they'll work, but I wasn't sure if they said when it would start. So Pam, we don't have a date, correct?
We don't. And actually, when they put out the press release, it was actually as part of the 50th celebration. So maybe that gives us a clue as to when they will start. Maybe as we get closer to an announcement on when, the 50th celebration will start, which again, we don't really know that either. So, and I was just talking with one of our listeners who wrote to me about this, and I was saying I was really shocked by the amount of negative response to the new early entry program, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is a step in the right direction. Like, we're getting closer to where we used to be. And everyone else was like, this is horrible because it's not extra magic hours. And I was like, okay, I do see that. I mean, I see what people are saying in that spot, but I think we got to walk before we run. So I'm hoping that this is something that will lead us to us. And plus, I am very excited to be able to pick the park that I would like to go in to early. So anyways.
Everybody should go to Animal Kingdom for their 30 minutes. And
you think that's where you should send them?
Studios, but yeah, everybody else go.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. You know what? Let's put out a crowd calendar.
We will.
It just works in our favor.
Yes.
Right. It'll be like 7 days. It'll be like AK.
Epcot. Yeah.
Magic Kingdom. Exactly. We're on something. Shh, don't anybody tell me.
Okay. Yeah.
Handful of right now.
Afterwards.
Okay, that's it. Okay. Yeah. No, but the thing is too is that Disney can push these out from 30 minutes eventually, and. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I've said this, I think, a couple times, is that even say all things are square, right? There's no extra there's no early entry at a park. If you are at the front of that rush at the turnstiles, you are like riding the crest of the wave for the first few hours, and you get so much done, even without extra magic hours. 30 minutes, if you play your cards right, can really lead to having just a great day down the line.
Huge. Even on a major holiday.
Right.
Being 30 minutes can mean a lot. It just really can. And everyone who's listened to us is like, no way, because everyone gets there when the park opens. Let me tell you, folks, the majority of people do not get there when the park opens. The majority
members of this podcast don't get there when the park opens. Just saying. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I would go to the park that had the extra magic hours the night before. That was always my strategy. So sometimes it didn't have morning extra magic hours, but if I was in the front, all things being even, I got a ton done. And it's how you played your fast passes around 11 too. So anyway, all right. Next question. Justin says, my wife is dying to go to be our guest for dinner. Her reasoning is Beast shows up. Is this happening? We have dinner around here, but it's called Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And Beast, it depends on how well my sports teams are doing if the Beast shows up. So anyway, Ricky, what do you know? Is the Beast hanging out, or is he?
I think I've heard that he actually is showing up. If I remember right.
You don't go and meet him, I don't believe, like you used to. Right. I think he comes in and he waves and
Yes.
He's like that now. Like Drew Carey, right? Don't come within 6 feet.
Yeah.
I know. What's funny is that he was the Beast, and then he was human, then he was the Beast, then he was back to his human self, and now he's back to being the Beast when he's at the restaurant. So
yeah.
I would think, though, being the Beast in COVID times would be your best form of yourself, right? Because you kind of have a protective layer,
maybe, yeah.
I was going between Beast and Mike Rallman. I'd probably hang out as Beast most of the time, especially if I'm going to the grocery store.
Yeah, right. Because people would back off; they'd be 6 feet away for sure.
So go to the cereal aisle. I'm dude, I don't even mess with that aisle. I don't need cereal this week. I'll have oats.
Eggs. I'll go with eggs.
Anyway, I love this show. All right. Mark Craig has a question. I know you can use the value of one set of tickets towards an annual pass, but what about 2 trips worth of tickets towards an annual pass? Pam, how about that one? I think it is only one set of tickets. I haven't done that in a while, but
it is. It's just one set of tickets. They're not going to let you take 3 tickets that you've had in the past and put them all together and then come up with the best price ticket you can. Unfortunately, what it typically is when they're letting you do that is you're upgrading that ticket to an annual pass, and you can't upgrade more than one set of ticket, but you can use one to upgrade 1 year, and then the next year when you go, you can use one again to upgrade. So just save them. They don't lose the value that you paid for them. Even tickets that are expired do not lose the value that you paid for them. In most cases, there are some special kinds of tickets that most people won't have anyway. But yeah, keep them around. They're always worth something.
Unless you buy them next to the helicopter rides on International Drive.
Yeah. When people ask about discount tickets, I just want to be like, okay.
I mean, when I drove to Give Kids a World, I could have bought discount tickets 17 times between properties.
None of them would have worked when you got there.
No.
I mean, it just really and truly. And I think that Disney has really cracked down on that the last few years, because they used to be so sympathetic and would help people out and whatever. And I think at this point, they just have to be like, I'm sorry, like, this isn't your ticket. Where did you buy this? Yeah, go back and see those people and see what they can do to help you, because we didn't sell you this ticket. What's funny is that Disney can scan that ticket and they'll know where it was sold, who it was sold to, all of that. They get a lot of information on that. So anyways, it is so not worth it to potentially save $20 on a ticket that will not work when you get up to the turnstile. It's just not.
The last thing you want to hear from a guest relations person at the ticket booths is these 3 words. You don't want to hear, "You got played."
Yeah. Yes.
Not good.
For sure.
Not good.
For sure.
Betsy has a question, and she's going to have a couple, I think, on Friday as well. She's heading down she's doing a cool split stay. She's staying at Pop Century and the Riviera. Boom.
Oh, there you go.
I'm excited. She says, in a normal year, when does registration start for the Princess Run Disney events? Next year is my daughter's 10th birthday, and she would love to do the 5 and 10K. That'd be awesome. Princess is a great mother-daughter race weekend. I mean, it is. You see so much of that. I mean, I go down usually solo. I like it because it's a good weekend. The weather's great. You know, it's just fun. But you see a lot of that mother-daughter stuff, and I love that because obviously I am the father of 2 girls. So usually registration is about 9 months out for all the events. That's about as much information as we had. That stuttering there is me my brain trying to process when we can register for another Run Disney event, because who knows? You just got to watch RunDisney.com. But yeah, go. Right. I totally say do it. Your daughter would love it. You would have a blast. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. All right, we are getting all the feedback here about the bathrooms. We are going to have to do a show there. Yeah, I mean, my gosh, our whole chat is full of bathroom comments. Let's hit the next question.
Nice.
Oh, here we go. Rhonda Lee, my good friend up in Canada. She's always with us on Sunday nights with our live shows. Love that. Alfred, Marlessa. There's so many folks that join in with us on Sunday nights. It's always so much fun. Tanya, Megan. She just asked simply, what's a hidden gem for each of you in each park? So that's kind of a lot, like on the spot, but come up with like a hidden gem that you have in a theme park, like something that's kind of off the beaten path that you really enjoy. Ricky, you go first. What do you got? Just pick a park and pick something that's kind of a hidden gem.
Okay, so on the backside of Disney's Animal Kingdom, like the pathway between Asia and Africa, there is a great spot where you can just sit and relax. It's supposed to be for like a restaurant, but half the time I think the snack shop or whatever it is isn't open. So it's a really great spot to just sit and relax. And when they do the nighttime shows, you can see the show from there too. So it's a hidden spot because everybody else is like rushing to the front of the park to see the show, and you can kind of catch it from the back, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so this just popped up to me because again, I don't know why, like what's wrong with me, but I'm like focused on bathrooms now since we were talking about it.
Yeah, of course.
Change is hard, right? So and again, this only I don't go in the women's bathrooms, but this is a kind of a little hidden gem. It's not a big deal. But in the Toy Story bathrooms, the urinals are like kid sized. And I don't know, like, I mean, I'm 6'3". I'm like, dude, what's up? But they're small and they got little sinks. And somebody was mentioning Jen in the live chat here says she loves restrooms. Her kids love them that have the little sinks. That's kind of cool. But yeah, they're almost like they're kid sized. I was wondering if like they just got the wrong order. I don't know. I mean, it is kind of theming, but it's kind of weird too. So that's kind of a hidden gem. Pam, what about you? We don't have to talk. The bathrooms are going to come up again. We're going to do a whole show. Yeah.
So this isn't so much a hidden gem as it is just a location that I love, and it is in Galaxy's Edge. Actually, there are some tables there by the Ronto Roasters location that sort of look down on everything going on, sort of in Galaxy's Edge. And I have seen the best and coolest things there. I've seen Ray and other people from the Galaxy's Edge universe running around with kids, getting to help them, saying, come on, come help me do this. And then they're off on some adventure. You get to see the stormtroopers while they're on top of buildings there. You get to hear noises coming from the Millennium Falcon, and you can see that right there. To me, as a lifelong Star Wars fan, this is just one of those locations where you can sit there, you can sort of take it all in, and it's hard to take it all in. Like, I've been to Galaxy's Edge quite a bit, and I still feel like I'm learning things every time I'm there. It's the kind of like excitement that you have when you don't know something, inside, outside, backwards, and everything. Like, I feel like I know so much of Disney World. I am still discovering things there, and that's just a great vantage point to take it all in. So if I'm there, don't everyone be scooping up those tables, because I want to come and sit for a while.
Those are sweet tables. Those are. And there's actually, there's like a little courtyard too. I think it's outside of what's it, docking bay. There's like it's like a little courtyard, and I think you have to have ordered food there to be able to sit there. But they're sweet. It's a sweet little area. It's outside, but it's like a courtyard.
It is. You're right. Yeah, it's like behind a gate, even.
Yeah, it's behind a gate. Gated community. Something. I don't know. Okay, Alfred's got a question. Ricky, this one's for you. Is Disney got to keep Morocco or turn it into another country? Because Disney has taken over the pavilion.
They have taken over the pavilion, but as far as I know, no, they're just going to keep it as Morocco. So, they'll update it. Like they are the bathrooms, because it's been a while. But they'll update, like they're updating the menus for things.
Spice Road table looks legit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Small plates just means not enough food for too much money. That's what I hear every time I hear small plates.
I get that.
Big plates.
I get that. Now I understand where you're coming from. I do. But it's okay. It's okay.
Maybe that'll be the new trend, Mike. Like everyone likes to talk small plates. Maybe the new trend will be big plates.
Yes.
Us Midwesterners, we don't like small when it comes to food. We like, in Southerners, but we just like do big plates. Like big plates just makes us happy. Like
no more buffets, but lots of big plates.
Yeah, like buckets. I mean, like what some of those like a Garden Grill, they bring you stuff in like big things. Like Ohana for breakfast. Like it's like a Whispering Canyon. Skillets, like big things. Yeah.
Restaurants don't really like to advertise stuff as coming in a bucket.
Whatever around here, Kentucky Fried Chicken comes in a bucket, dude. That's a selling point.
I mean, besides Kentucky Fried Chicken, do you have other locations where things come in a bucket?
Besides chicken, what else comes in a bucket?
And maybe you want to eat it.
Burritos. If you had burritos in a bucket, that'd be like an awesome idea. I'm just saying.
They all unfold in there. You can reach it in filling, no toppings.
Man, at our Catholic picnics around here, they have buckets of beer. I'm just saying, like you carry around a little bucket of beer.
Alcohol is different, but like food items, like actual food.
Back to Disney. Here we go. Any update on the people mover, Ricky? Are we gonna be moving people in Tomorrowland anytime soon? I did see maybe.
I hope so. Honestly, I really do, because I miss the people mover and I would like to ride it this weekend if possible. So Disney, if you want to give me something this weekend, let me ride the people mover. Yay. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see.
No, I think it's coming back soon. It's linear induction, so it's kind of like 1979 futuristic technology. I mean, it's not that hard. Like you sit on a bench. It's basically a moving bench. You're getting back to
maybe there's something more complicated about it that we just don't understand or comprehend.
Dude, it's like a little scooter. I mean, it's not that hard, I wouldn't think, but who knows? All right, Joe Laszlo down in the ATL, neighbor of Ricky's.
He is. I might have seen him this weekend. Just saying.
Nice.
I did. Yes.
He's giving us a tough one. One Walt Disney World mountain has to be
Joe.
I can do it. Easy peasy.
Okay. Or you're up, Pam. What do you got?
Space is going.
Oh,
Space
you're
is
killing
going.
me. You are wrong.
I'm not. It's going.
my
First of all, it kills too many people. Their backs or their heads or something. Like, not literally kills people. Let me make that clear before people start writing.
Good idea. Good idea.
It does not literally. It hurts them so bad. They feel like they're killed.
Yes.
Yeah, RIP my back every time I ride it because it's my favorite ride, but it does not love me back.
No, and eventually, Mike, like, we're going to be getting a call from Mike. Stuck on Space Mountain.
Can't get up.
No.
Can't get up. Yes.
Okay, I am sacrificing Everest. I know, and it's a great ride because it's it's not any kind of IP. It's an original concept. It's a fun little ride, but man, every time I ride it, that backwards part makes me just want to.
Awesome. The backwards portion is awesome.
I feel like I go upside down and I want to get sick.
You get that Yeti working, and that is.
We have no chance of that now. We lost Joe.
I know we lost Joe Rohde. That sucker's sailed.
When they tweeted the picture of Joe Rohde's boots, that Yeti was locked in disco mode.
Yep. Yep.
After he got questioned by that dude in the airport, he was like, "I'm out.
I can't do it. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to retire." People are still asking me about the Yeti.
Can't do it. Can't fix it. Sorry. All right.
She's right with me. She hates Everest because it goes backwards. Okay, Ricky.
No, the backwards portion is the best. Okay. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Big Thunder. Big Thunder has to go.
That's the one that little kids can ride.
Okay, here's why. Big Thunder has to go in its current iteration. Put in Big Thunder that's in Paris, and we can start talking. That's the best.
Then little kids won't be able to ride it.
Yes, they can.
No,
it doesn't. Not in Paris. Does not go upside down in Paris. I can tell you, I went on it. Big Thunder does not go upside down in Paris. Not at all. It goes underground. You're thinking of Space Mountain in Paris.
No.
Yeah, Space Mountain in Paris.
Yeah, Space Mountain in Paris does go upside down.
But Big Thunder doesn't.
Okay.
I'm certain.
Okay, the time. I don't know. I've never been to Paris. I'm not going. It's closed until like April, so who cares? Okay, here we go. Next question. We had one here. Michael's asking, I have been holding off on my first cruise until it was a Be Our Guest podcast cruise. When will that happen? Because you know what? We always cruise in the odd numbered years. We've done 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. So 21 would have been a podcast cruise year. This would, oh my gosh. Did I just say it? Like, that makes me even more sad. This would have been a podcast cruise year, but we will do another podcast cruise. I promise you, but we just got to let things settle down. We got to let the ships get out there and see how things are going, but we will let you know. But we'd love to have you sail with us because those are so much fun.
They are fun.
But we'll let you know. We'll do one. Tony. Preacher Tony says, went to California Grill last weekend for the first time. OMG, it was incredible. So, Pam, you steer people in the right direction. He loved it.
Good. I'm so glad because really and truly, we have had so many great meals there. And I love the location of it. First of all, I think there's always something fun about being at the Contemporary, right? It's an original hotel. It was there from opening day. It just feels like Disney. But then you get to go up and be at the top of the Contemporary and look down at the Magic Kingdom. And whether you're looking at fireworks or you're just looking at the rides that are lit up and the building lights and everything else, it feels magical. You can walk out on the catwalks and see it. There's actually two. You get two really distinct views. So next time you're there, ask about both of them.
All righty. We have a question here from Jimmy Tucker. I just got a dinner reservation for Homecoming. And he has a G on the end. You got to fix that, buddy. It's Homecoming. That's right.
Yes.
Next week. He's going next week. What should you eat? Everything. No, here's the thing. And I've heard this from many of my guests. Like, my guests get back and they've never been to Homecoming. I tell them, give it a shot. You'll like it if you're going to be at Disney Springs, if you like comfort food, stuff like that. And I get this time after time, and it's not really a bad thing because you're only going once. It's not like you're going to. There's Art Smith giving us some food.
He's selling us.
Yeah, right. He said 407-413-9395. This is not a Sunday night show, Art. Okay, so anyway, back to the topic at hand. I'm easily distracted today. Lots of Coke Zero. So What I would say, what I get from my guests is that, man, our eyes were bigger than our stomachs. And that is so true, but it's so good. Now, this is where, I don't know, they're not necessarily small plates at homecoming. They're big stuff. But I mean, like, you want to get like all the sides, right? You want to get the church ladies deviled eggs. You want to get biscuits, but then you want to get like, dude, I got to get cornbread too. Usually it's one or the other, but you're there.
This is what pocket biscuits are for. This is why they were invented. I'm just saying.
I've heard people that are staying like DVC that have taken this stuff back and they've eaten for 4 days on their leftovers because they just, they take it back, put it in the fridge, and then sit at the table and have dinner for like 4 more nights. I mean, the thing is, try things, right? You're on vacation. It's a splurge. Vacation is the time to have a good time. But I mean, I love the donuts and chicken. I mean, when else are you gonna like? I can't go down on Mid Rivers Mall Drive where I live and go get donuts and chicken like as an entree. I mean, be crazy on vacation. But what would you say, Ricky? I mean, what's your go-to at homecoming?
Oh, fried chicken, 100%. Like, doesn't even matter. It just whatever I can get that has fried chicken on it, I'm in. So, fried chicken.
But it's the sides. I think it's the sides too. I mean, you gotta indulge the sides. Pam, what do you guys get?
So I've said this before. I love their collard greens. If you like collard greens, these are really good. They're seasoned well. Tiny bit of heat, which I think all collard greens should have. So I know that sounds like a weird thing to recommend. Like, oh, dude, you have to go get the collard greens. But really, they're so good. The mac and cheese is fantastic. I personally prefer, because I'm not a big fried chicken person, but they have something that's called thigh-high biscuits. And the reason why I really love this is because they take the thighs of the chicken and they're on a biscuit. And of course, they're fried chicken. So I think that this is sort of the best of both worlds because I'm not getting a huge fried chicken dinner, but I get to try the biscuits. I get to try the fried chicken. And then Steve and I usually split that and we split some sides, which we love. There are just a ton of great sides and I've loved them all. They actually, too, have some really good salads. So if you're looking for something like that, I would not be afraid to try anything there and leave room for desserts. There's so many good ones.
Oh, so good. And yeah, I tried the moonshine the one time. It was like jet fuel, man. It was hot.
No, but they have flavored moonshine that's not at all. And they have great moonshine drinks, too, on top of it. They have a refillable drink program. You can buy that thing. Steve and Hannah, of course, have bought 100 because they never
Brian has too. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I have one too. You've seen it many times for my runs when I run outside the spring. Yes, I use that for my water. But yeah, I think Hannah Foster is a brand ambassador for
100%. Are you kidding me? They should be like, she should be an IG brand ambassador for that drink program. She tells everyone to get it. But yeah, it is awesome. So you do get a reduced price. Actually, you get more. You get more of certain moonshine drinks. They'll put it in that container for you, and you just pay the standard price. And in addition, anytime you're walking by, if you want to get a soda or iced tea refill, they'll do it for free.
Yep.
Period. End of story. There's no crazy Disney caveat to this one. So look at
probably
that.
Better than that much moonshine. I'm just saying. Like, I mean, come on. All right, next. Oh, by the way, we have lots in our live chat. Crab legs come in buckets, onion rings come in buckets, and apparently spaghetti can come in a bucket in Italy.
Wait, spaghetti?
I don't know. That sounds weird, but that's what Robert says.
Okay. Well, okay. Besides like fried fish and like fried items and seafood, like I haven't seen anything else.
Oysters as well.
That's still seafood. That's like seafood comes in a bucket. I get that, but like
we're not going to encourage Mike Rahman with his bucket of food thing. Sorry, we're just not going to do that.
See. All right. So I'm trying to we have so many questions in here. Let's see here. Joe's asking. He has one more question. We'll get to it here. I think it's an interesting question. Worst ride to do after a big meal. He said one time he ate at Germany. I guess he ate Beer Garden. Because again, Beer Garden, I will go to Beer Garden on a solo trip. Honest to God, I've done this like my last 3 times. And you might think that is the worst place to go on a solo trip because you eat communally, right? So you're just going to be thrown into it. I like that. Like, I'm not kidding. The first time I went there solo, I sat down with the family. They had heard of the show. Like, they knew my voice. Like, like, I mean, what are the chances? Like, they had listened to the podcast, and so we talked about that kind of stuff. It was fun, other times not, but God, I can't stop myself at that buffet. It's so good, and it's a decent value. But yeah, you don't want to write anything. But Joe picked Body Wars after that is you won. Like, that is the Body Wars on a good day on an empty stomach would kill you. So yes. I don't know.
I
So
think
what?
Star Tours, that's like Star
Same thing.
Tours is in the same vein. Yeah, it's horrible. Like I keep trying to make it through that after not having eaten for a while. So yeah.
All right, I've done 50s prime time, the sampler, and then we had a fast pass for Tower of Terror. That was terrible. Bad. And it was like in July, right?
Oh.
And also one time I did Liberty Tree Tavern in July. And what I do, like, there's just certain things you should not have. Like, there's a reason Thanksgiving isn't a cool time of the year, right? You should not eat
Right.
Thanksgiving dinner and then walk out into like 95% humidity and a 90-degree 10 o'clock at night, and then go and stuff. I've had bad. I think we did that. Actually, what got me? It was before our very first podcast cruise. I was riding the Speedway, and so I was waiting in line on a night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. We hadn't done Liberty Tree Tavern. We had done Whispering Canyon. Remember that?
Yes.
We did this big meet at Whispering Canyon. Dude, I ate so much. I drank like a gallon of soda because they kept bringing those like keggers. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't bring you the normal soda. They bring you the one that's like a barrel. And I was like, I'm finishing this thing. So I finished it. We went back over to the Magic Kingdom. I'd eaten all that greasy food. It was 100 degrees. It was in July. I think Paige wanted to ride the cars, so we got in line. You're just whiffing all that gasoline fumes, like the air was not moving; it was just hanging. Finally rode them. I just remember I ended up in those bathrooms. I thought I was going to be sick, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, I got to get on." It's our very first podcast cruise. Like tomorrow's the cruise. They're going to have to fill out the form if I've been sick in 24 hours. I'm not going to be able to go on my own podcast. Oh, I was a mess. I actually left the Magic Kingdom in a wheelchair. Pam wheeled me out. My car was parked at Wilderness Lodge. Wheeled me all the way through Wilderness Lodge, and then I saw Lou Mangello on the way back. He's like, "What's up, Mike?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up? I gotta go." I was like, "Why?" He didn't even ask. I was in a wheelchair, so pretty.
For the best.
I told Pam, "Keep moving. We can't stop. We just gotta get to the car." But no, Ricky, any other bad decisions like meal/rides you've ever had?
So for me, not like meal/rides, but I think like anytime you have any kind of meal and then decide to go on Mission Space, the intense version, I think you're asking for trouble. So that's gonna be my answer right there. Just asking for trouble.
We're gonna tell people to clear out of that little hallway after the attraction.
Exactly.
If that's what you're choosing to do.
Yes. Don't eat then. No.
All right, Samantha Wright has a question. What is the best way to tour Hollywood studios and get as much accomplished as possible? So it is tips that we've learned with the, Galaxy's Edge now, Toy Story Land. You got Mickey and Minnie's. Pam, give her some advice. She wants to see it all. What's your best strategies?
So remember that you're going to see those shorter lines, first thing in the morning if you're there at opening. If you're not going to be there right at opening, I almost want you to wait until closer to park closing at this point in time to ride some of those big attractions. Now, I know that is really kind of scary because then you're like, do I have enough time then to do this and that? So pick one that you really want to do in the morning if you're not going to get there first thing in the morning, and then save the rest throughout the day. The other thing you really want to do is download that Disney app. Honest to goodness, the wait times on there are pretty accurate. And most of the time, if anything, it is less time rather than more. You do get a quirk every now and then, but just watch throughout the day. I have seen weird things happen. Like all of a sudden, the Slinky Dog's down to whatever, a reasonable amount of time to wait for that. Or, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is down to a lower time. Think about that. Of course, you're going to have to get your boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance. So that's something that you're going to do before you get into the parks. They open at 7 a.m. and then are open again, of course, later in the day. So check those out too.
I agree. You just, with the studios, I think it's imperative that you're there ahead of the crowd. I mean,
I agree.
If you get there an hour after park opening, you are just fighting it all day long because Slinky Dog is going to be long. Mickey and Minnie's is going to be long. Even if you have a boarding group, the thing is, you can go in and relax if you're just focused on getting on Rise of Resistance with a boarding group you got back at your hotel. But I want to have my boarding group supplement my day, right? I want to be able to be there and either do Slinky Dog first, or maybe, if you're real old school and this is just your thing, you could do Tower and Rock and Roller Coaster Sunset Boulevard first. and really knock those out. But then the thing is, everything's a give and take, right? You're going to sacrifice one to do the other. But yeah, I don't know. Mickey and Minnie's though is a must do, I think, even though I don't know if I like it better than Great Movie Ride because I'm kind of old and I liked it, but it's a must do, right? I mean, Ricky, what do you say? I mean, what would any other things you do? Because you don't necessarily get there at park opening all the time.
No. Yeah, no, I don't. And a lot of times I will pick and choose. It does help that I don't ride tower. So, because that's the ride that will make me want to throw up. So, I tend to not ride tower just for that reason. So knocking that out of contention helps a little bit. But, there was a time when like this park, all there really was tower and Rocket Roller Coaster as like the headliners, and it was easy to do. Now, I mean, there's legit like 5 big headliners at least to, consider, and then 6 if you get Rise, basically. So like it's kind of crazy. This park has so many awesome headliners that you have to try to fit in. I think Pam had good advice with check the app. You never know. I think right now, people don't, because there's no fast pass, and I know I've talked about this before. I like that there's no fast pass because I feel like I do get on attractions a lot easier with especially these headliners without fast pass. So honestly, I've managed to get on most of, even not making it to park open. I've managed to get on most of the headliners because really that's about all there is at this park right now. So you just go from one headliner to the next, to the next, to the next. So sprinkle in a little, alien swirling saucers or whatever, and you're good to go. So I think that, I mean, really, this park is all headliners at this point.
Good point. There's really not a lot of like C-ticket type experiences. I mean, you occasionally got that like meet and greet kind of behind Rock and Roller Coaster with the cars.
But there's the light. It's not a meet and greet. It's a show. Yeah, and that is open. Yes, yes.
So you got that. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, you got alien swirling saucers. And what else? I mean, they're not doing Indy.
I mean, of course, depends on how you consider Toy Story Mania now at this point. Like, at one point it was an e-ticket. Or do we consider that to be a headliner? Yeah, I would still consider it to be one, but that's what I said. Like, there's like 6 headliners at this point. So
yeah, there are, and few shows at this point too to sort of fill in and take up those crowds. I think you have to have some kind of meal there. I think you need to have a sit-down meal at Hollywood Studios or a long leisurely lunch somewhere. So think of that.
Or chill out at what's it called? The tap house.
Baseline.
Yeah, and we sat out there and we made some reels. Scott.
And on our crowd calendar, we're going to put that as the thumbs down. So we're going to tell people that's not very good.
That's right.
Don't go there.
Remember, AK people, AK. Yes. Okay, so that is going to do it. But hey, I forgot to do this top of the show. Dr. Mike, he is making an appearance. I almost forgot because our listeners are helping me out with Dr. Mike. So Dr. Mike up on stage, trying to help everybody, not be a basic Disney fan and make sure that you enjoy everything and not become your parents' Disney fan.
Oh, no.
Remember, you have to mobile order your lunch. And then one of my clients out in the audience, I know this doesn't work well because it's a 2-parter, but I don't have the mobile order app on my phone. Yes, you do. It's right here. It's called My Disney Experience. So there you go. It's not very funny. I know that it reads more funny than it is. So anyway.
That's it.
All right, we are going to get out of here and try to do better on Fridays. So thank you so much. If you have questions, drop those to mike@beourguestpodcast.com or join us on Mondays around 5:45 Eastern, Facebook or YouTube. We get together. We had a good time, man. Our chat was on fire today. You guys were awesome. Buckets of spaghetti, ribs. We have all kinds of stuff that comes in buckets besides KFC. So that's awesome. All right, don't forget today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Great discounts out there right now. Hey, save money. And you can feed the whole family with a bucket of KFC. You know what? For the whole year. Seriously, today we're working with a new guest. We're looking at different discounts. They had 2 available. They could do a room discount. They could do a 2 free days on the tickets discount. We crunched the numbers. It was a $275 savings, one over the other. So that's why you need a travel planner, right? You might have just clicked on and said, hey, I'm getting a discount. You might be getting more on a different discount. That's what we do every day for our guests, and we make sure you have a magical trip every time. So drop by the magicforless.com, fill out that quote form, mention the show, and you and I are going to be planning a great vacation, just like Betsy here in the live chat. She's going to have a great time. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. We really appreciate that. And a huge shout out to the patrons. You guys are awesome. Mike in the Midwest coming your way on Thursday. Tomorrow, it's Ask Mike Anything. So if you want to get on the action, better than I can speak, just go over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the social, Instagram and Twitter at beourguestmike, at beourguestpod, and of course, subscribe on YouTube and Facebook, and join us this Sunday night. We have live call-in shows, and it was on fire this past Sunday night. So many calls, we couldn't get to everybody. I'm sorry, but like 3 or 4 stacked at a time. And of course, we talked a little Magical Express. We talked just Disney in general. It was a lot of fun. So join us this Sunday night from 7 o'clock Eastern to 8 o'clock Eastern over on Facebook and YouTube. Got to always make that conversion because I'm in the central time zone. You guys are living the Eastern life. All right, we are going to get out of here, and we'll be back again tomorrow with a replay from Sunday night, and then on Friday with more listener questions. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work, and we'll see you real soon. I was distracted by Joanne's comment.
Yeah.
Ad read. I can't really count right now. I'm in the middle of a podcast, and it's kind of rude to count for me. My wife would prefer me not count those. Holy cow, Beth said yesterday at Woody's Lunchbox, it was a 3-hour wait.
My brother said the same thing on Friday. On Friday he was there, and it was a ridiculously long wait like that. I want to say it was something like 3 hours. Yeah.
I would DoorDash some KFC back to my table at Toy Story Land or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So
Uber Eats.
I know, crazy.
I will delete that one from Beverly. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. I got a good one. Okay, this is from Paul. Okay, this is a funny one. Dr. Mike. Okay, we'll do questions after this too. If you have questions, keep them coming. Yeah, we shouldn't Joanne, we shouldn't broadcast during cocktail hour. I agree. And I got to be careful when I hit the button to put your comments up on the screen. That doesn't make me lovely. Okay, but if you have any more questions, we can get those in there. God, I love Joanne. Oh my gosh. Annie said it was yeah, I'm going to be, so we're going to talk to Scott for next Monday about, he booked a trip 16 hours out and he's just getting home. So we'll talk about that craziness from this past weekend. Okay. Here we go. 1638, 1838. Welcome to episode 1838 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents. That's right, over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. We made it to another weekend, and we need them even worse in the month of January. Not a whole lot going on, but I promise you we have a best and worst bathroom episode coming your way here soon. So, hey, I mean, we need something to look forward to, right? And we've resorted to that. It's not great, but it's something. So we're going to have a good time answering more of your listener questions today because we had so many this past week in the inbox and also in the live chat. So we are going to be doing that today. So who knows what we'll be talking about. So joining me today, we talked about stuff on Wednesday. Today, we are legitimately answering questions. You can catch her over at the mouseforless.com where all the breaking news happens. We have Ricky. What's up, Ricky?
Yes, you can. And hope you're following along. I'm going to be in Walt Disney World this weekend. So it's going to be a fun time. So I plan on hitting up a little bit of the Festival of the Arts, getting some research done with Festival of the Arts, or as we like to call it, the farts. So, we'll see how this weekend goes.
We're already back to that. Nice. So real quick though, breaking news. And this was the most exciting news I heard from Scott because he was there this last weekend at the studios. They still had the whoopie pie, the holiday whoopie pie. We had one and I just wanted to, so mad. I mean, I love Scott, right? But you do not, when I'm sitting at home eating peanut butter toast or something, I was eating a turkey sandwich for lunch and bam, on my text, holiday whoopie pie. I'm like, I want one. They were still there. So, I mean, they may be old, but they're still tasty.
And they may be a little.
They pulled them out of the back of the freezer. They just found them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take it. I eat Little Debbie's all the time, so I'm good. I'll take a chance. Yeah, the other day I was making lunch because Pam works at home too with me, so we eat lunch together. We make our little turkey sandwiches together, and she's like, What'd you just put on your sandwich? I'm like, Miracle Whip. That Miracle Whip's expired by 3 months. I'm like, I've been eating all week. I'm good. And I'm fine. So I mean, it's Miracle
You
Whip, right?
survived. You
Yeah,
survived.
it's probably not great anyway. All right. Also joining us, I would doubt that she puts Miracle Whip on her turkey sandwiches. We have Pam Foster from the Magic for Less Travel. What's up, Pam?
I don't actually. I don't like Miracle Whip. I like mayonnaise, like Hellman's or Duke's or whatever. But yeah, I know. So I don't. There's just something about Miracle Whip, and I know that some people prefer it. I get it. I think it's just a matter of what you're used to. Yeah, but Miracle Whip. I haven't thought about Miracle Whip in a while.
You know what though? Even better than that, you want to take Miracle Whip to the next step. And I haven't bought this yet, but you just made me think about it. My grandpa, my mom's dad, which I didn't spend a lot of time with them, but I did some. They lived around the block from us growing up. They had something they put on their sandwiches called sandwich spread, which was and that's actually what it's called. I think it's made by Kraft. It's like mayonnaise, but it's kind of orangey and it's got like little pickles in it and like little tomato or something. It is rocking. I might have to get some.
Oh, it actually is. I do pick up. I don't usually eat like mayonnaise or anything like that. But this is basically mayonnaise based. And I have picked this up. It is actually really good. It's got like relish yeah. It mixed in with the mayonnaise and it's so flipping good. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's really good. So if you've never had sandwich spread by Kraft and you've never even heard of it, because most people wouldn't have, go pick it up. It's literally like right there in the aisle. And if Kraft ever stops making it, I will be ridiculously sad. Like, I can't even tell you how sad I would be if they stop making this stuff. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't joke about sandwich spread in North St. Louis.
No. It's legit. I'm not even joking. Like, I use this. So yeah, I'd be very sad if they stop making it ever.
Okay, we got to get to the questions, but first, Dr. Mike is in the house.
Okay.
Advice to keep you from being a basic Disney fan and churning into your parents heading down to Walt Disney World in 1973. Okay, here's what I say. The strangers next to you don't want your advice on the best transportation methods to make it from the studios to Trails End in time for their 6:45 reservation. They don't care.
It's true.
Welcome. Paul, thank you for the line there. Paul Westbrook. Okay, first question. We got one in the live chat, so let's hit this one, then we'll hit the inbox. Does anyone know if the Harmony Barbershop cast members are working outside of Disney in Orlando? I would love to get my 2-year-old's haircut by one of them. I know the cast members are the ones who make it special, so it doesn't have to be done on Main Street. I did hear that a couple of them are at Great Clips. No, I shouldn't say that. I mean, hey, we all got our side hustle, right? I mean, times are rough. I don't know. I mean, how would we know? Would we know? I don't know. Have you seen anything, Ricky? Are they trimming somewhere? I don't know.
I have no idea, and nor do I follow any of them on social media. So I honestly have no idea where they would be at if, at the current moment. I mean, I know they're not at the Harmony Barbershop because that is definitely closed. So yeah, very tight corners. So I honestly have no idea for you. I'm sorry.
Think about this. What if parents are waiting to have their child's first?
Oh my gosh.
In all this has happened.
Yeah.
March, and now you're gonna have kids that are 3 years old walking around like Cousin It. You won't even be able to see their faces. Even though Mallory was bald till she was 3, so we were kind of lucky. We saved on haircuts.
There you go.
Cue ball. She was cute, but she had no hair. Okay, and I get my hair cut at Great Clips, so I'm not making fun of it, Crystal. I'm just saying, I even have a little card I prepay for the year's worth of haircuts, and they're $9.99 that way instead of $12.99 because I'm tight. I get a little card, but I tip well. Okay, Betsy. Speaking of Betsy, in Wednesday show, she has a couple of questions here. Hey, BOGP crew. My daughter and I are up for our annual pass renewal at the end of March. We're living on borrowed time because it was scheduled to expire on Halloween. We have been sure to enjoy this bonus time that was extended to AP holders because of COVID. This was our first time getting annual passes and didn't think I'd renew, but now I'm doing some Disney math, especially because my daughter has a Florida pass since we have family members who live in Florida and they were able to get her a Florida pass. My question is, if we renew at the end of March, does our 12 months begin then or the first time we actually use it? Is there a time frame that it has to be activated? So with renewals, now I renew mine. I don't always renew the families, but I renew mine because I always do the races. I believe that's just kind of a rolling thing. So you don't when you buy a voucher, it's when you first use it. But when you renew, it just, the renewal starts right then. You don't get to like have a little pause, right, Pam? Am I right on that? That's how it goes.
You are. That's the whole point of the renewal price, is that what you're going to do is you're going to extend your expiration date. It will renew. You get a reduced price in that space, and it will go 12 months from the date that your pass was going to expire. And there's actually a limit on how many days in advance you can renew and how many days after you must renew. So pay attention to those things too.
And I will say, I think part of the confusion is based off of the fact that, it got extended based off of COVID. So it will be from the new expiration date when your current, when the updated expiration date will be. It won't be from when it was supposed to be. So it'll be the newer time. So I think that's kind of where a little bit of confusion came from. So
yep, that's it. And just a second bonus question. I'm surprising my daughter with a combo beach Disney trip since she has a few unexpected days off from school right in the middle of both of our birthdays. Hers is February 5th and mine is January 18th. Happy birthday. So why not? My question is, what would you suggest is a fun dinner to celebrate? Parks, resorts, or Disney Springs? She'll be 9 and can be an adventurous eater. I'm game for anything. We did Cinderella's Royal Table on Halloween, so I'd like to try something else. We don't usually focus on dining. We just roll with it and hit up places like Baseline Tap House. Thanks so much, Betsy. Well, that's a good mom. Okay, so 9-year-old, they both have their birthdays going down very end of January, very beginning of February. I'm going to throw out this one. And again, I love the food and it's just kind of cool. I love the garden grill. Why couldn't I think of it? It was on the tip of my tongue. Always solid food. There's a little bit of a character interaction there. I don't think it's spinning right now though. I think it's broke. I did read that somewhere.
I mean, it could be spinning by now.
I don't think it's going to make or break a meal.
No.
But it's a solid meal. It's in a theme park. I think your 9-year-old would like it. It's just good food. It's not real fancy food, but it's good food. So I will go with that. So Pam, give a thought for Betsy.
So why don't you consider one of the different kind of character meals that they have now? They are still having character meals. And so we're talking about Hollywood and Vine. It has a brand new menu and it's a good menu from all accounts. So, and it does offer you the opportunity to still see the characters. I think it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. So you're getting some good food and you're still getting to see the characters. And I think it would be a fun place to celebrate a birthday for sure.
Well, yeah, it would. That's a good call. Beth says that. Ashlyn in the chat says, be our guest. Ricky, what else?
I am going to say, I think I like Pam's idea of Hollywood and Vine. That was something that I was thinking of. I think I will say consider the new Crystal Palace. Now, granted, you're not going to be, new Crystal Palace, I use that in quotes. You're not going to be able to see characters there, so that's kind of a bummer.
I don't know that. That could, by next week, they could be back.
They could be back. Yes, that's a good point. But the menu, I think, is pretty good. I think it's pretty decent. And it's that new 3-course kind of menu that they have going on. So that they've introduced at what were buffets. And now they're, doing 3-course meals. So I'm going to suggest that. So.
And a lot of folks in the live chat, Beth, Alfred, Felicia, all saying Topolino's. I feel like I'm the last person on earth to ever eat at Topolino's. Like, God, I got to get there.
You do.
And so check that out. All right, next question is from Ashley. She says, hey, Mike and BOGP crew. First of all, just want to say thank you. I just ran my first 13.1 miles this weekend, and it all started with a BOGP podcast about Run Disney that I listened to last February. Got through the long run with 2.5 podcast episodes. And actually, she sent a follow-up email. It was actually 3.5 podcast episodes. But hey, dude, I get it. Because she hit the wrong button. She said save them specifically for this run. So congratulations on that first 13.1. That's awesome. That's a half marathon. And don't blame me when you get the blisters. Blame Mike Bankhead. And when you go broke because you have to sign up for all the races, again, Mike Bankhead. I'll get you his email address. I have 2 questions I'm hoping you can help me with. Number 1, our 60-day mark is coming up. So I've been thinking about dining and extra reservations. I'll tell you what, just a little insider. When you run, you're always thinking about food. And if you're a Disney fan, you're always thinking about Disney restaurants. It just happens. And that's what she was doing. I know character meals are limited, but so is capacity at fan favorites. Any advice on how to prioritize the following? Is it best to go by popularity or chronologically by trip date? I always go by popularity. Don't go chronologically. Actually, I always put the stuff that I want the most at the back of the trip because it's easier to get them at the back end. Just a little tip for just in all times. Here's the 4 things she wants to prioritize: Chef Mickey's, Oga's Cantina, Beaches and Cream, and the Droid Depot for her 2 kids. The rest of my dining list seems achievable, but I'm worried about these must-dos. So if you had to put those, basically, let's put those in order. Pam, just you're the expert here. So give us, put those in order from like the most demanding to the least demanding, trying to get those.
So say it one more time for me, please.
So it's Chef Mickey's, Oga's, Beaches and Cream, and Droid Depot. So it's experiences as well with Droid Depot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try for Droid Depot and Oga's first, actually, because Oga's would take priority over that because it's just such a small location. Droid Depot because of the experience, and then we have what are the 2 Chef Mickey's as well as
Beaches. Beaches I put last because they've expanded it. It's a lot bigger now.
They have. So yes, try that and see if it works for you. I just feel like the experience thing sometimes, the Droid Depot is a toss-up. You could find things for like a week before or a day before, or it could be sold out. So it just really is a toss-up. But Oga's is almost always consistently getting full. So it really is a small space. They're really, before they jammed people in there.
Yeah.
And now they just don't have the opportunity to do that. So its capacity was probably cut more than 75%. They're probably running at like a 10% of what they did prior to, just because there's no way to maintain 6 feet. So,
and you got to get your fuzzy tauntaun. Tauntauns are only good if they're fuzzy.
Exactly. So yes, absolutely. So go in that order and let us know how it works out.
And I like her second question. This one is totally in my wheelhouse. I've heard people decorate their room windows at Pop Century. Is it typically just ground floor rooms that do this, or do the upper floors have decorations as well? Any fun displays that stick out over your years of travel? Would love to do something fun while we're there in April. Thanks again for putting out a great podcast. Love tuning in each week to hear the gang. Ashley, we love having you listen. Ashley, thank you so much. Appreciate that. So, yes, people at Pop Century do decorate their windows, and it's not just the ground floors. It's all of them, because there's going to be people coming and going. A lot of times it's stuffed animals in the windows. Is a teacher. I didn't decorate my room very much, but I would pay my wife to come next door and decorate my room for stuff. I'd buy like lunch for a week or something. I like when bulletin boards, I never did a bulletin board. And that was like a big deal. Like, I don't know, elementary school teachers like love doing bulletin boards. It's stupid. I would be like, I'll buy you dinner, lunch for a month if you just do this bulletin board so the principal gets off my back. So anyway, one of the things you would buy at the dollar store as a teacher, like when it was Christmas or Halloween or whatever, Thanksgiving, these little like rubbery things that stick on your windows, and you just slam those up, and you could, some of them are like little scenes, like they have like, 28 pieces, and you put them together, like a ghost and a, whatever, a skeleton. And then it looks like you're really decorated. Those work great for a Pop Century window because they have those big windows. You put those up. Some people bring like Christmas lights, different color Christmas lights. I am not kidding. One time, this was like probably almost 10 years ago now. And I don't know what the story, I have pictures somewhere. I'll find the pictures and put them on Instagram because I am not kidding. I was walking around Pop Century, and this room was like super decorated, like, the window, right? With like Stitch and the Christmas stuff. It was Christmas time. The room next door was not even occupied, but it had an entire Christmas scene set up. It had a full-size Christmas tree, presents, had a train. I mean, a moving train.
God. No way.
Yeah. I was like, okay, did Pop Century do this? Or did like somebody rent an actual room next door and not even use it? I mean, it was like a Christmas scene in the room. No kidding. They had the windows open. So like there was a train, a tree, presents.
Was it, wait. Was it a full-size tree?
Yeah, it was a full-size tree. I mean, it was like a winter wonderland in like 200 square feet of a Pop Century room. It was because it was like on my way to my room. I saw it all the time. I saw it for like a week. Nobody was in there. The beds were never touched. It was the weirdest thing. Yes, they were all about it. But yeah, bottom line, I'll find those pictures because it was like 10 years ago, but they got to be in my Google.
Awesome. Why is this the first time I'm hearing of this? That's so cool.
I know, because I was like, what's the story? Like, is somebody paying like $150 a night for an empty room to have a tree and presents? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't judge.
No, that's awesome. Go with them.
All right. So what do you think, Pam? I mean, that's craziest I've seen, but I like when they stuff stuff in the windows, the little stuffed animals and so forth.
I do too. I like the window clings. I think that those are easy. They're easy to pack. So that will be a great thing to add to your room. And the thing that, makes it fun to decorate the window is it makes your room easier to find. If you're walking down, it separates your room from the rest. I like when I see, something that a little kid clearly did. It's just really heartwarming to think like that's what they're getting excited about, to do something like that. That's something that Hannah would have loved. If I would have set up a bunch of things that say, okay, this window is yours, put on it what you want, she would have loved that growing up. So I would look for all those little window cling things. I think that things like lights are a little more challenging because you got to plug them in and worry about how you're hanging them and things like that. I've seen people make it work. I'm not quite sure how they do it. But I think the window clings are by far the easiest things to do. And stuffed animals, there's a little ledge right there and they'll be able to look out too. So check those out.
Yeah, send us a picture of your window if you do it. That'd be really cool too.
Yeah, that would be really cute.
Your kids would your kids would think you're the coolest, right? If you take that time to do, especially if you put up lights. I'm back in that room. I got to find that picture. It was, I was like, what? Because I went past it a bunch of times. Anyway, the next question. I had it here. It's I lost it. It's about the spas. Here it is. It's from Diane. She says, which Walt Disney World resorts have spas? And are they open right now for facials, massages, etc.? So the Grand Floridian and Saratoga Springs have spas. Of course, the Disney-owned hotels. There's other ones. Are they open, though?
I don't think they are. No.
The health clubs are open, but I don't think that the spas are open at this point.
I don't think they are.
I hurt my neck last week and I was going to go to Face and Body or Face and Massage Envy or something because my neck was hurting so bad. I filled out all the stuff to go $115 just to get my neck like massage for 30 minutes. I was like, nope. I went to a chiropractor school for $10. Got my neck adjusted for an hour and a half.
Wow.
I know. I got to go back again tomorrow just because my neck is all messed up. You know what it was? Because I was like, I know this isn't Disney, but I was like, why is my neck hurting all of a sudden? It was like I slept weird on it and it hurt for like 2 or 3 days, like bad hurt. What it was, I got a new laptop and I was working constantly on my couch with my little lap desk and probably looking down at a weird angle and it got me. I mean, it got me. So yeah, there you go. All right. Laura has a question. Hey, BOGP crew. Park hours for our end of March trip have posted this week. But over the holidays, I saw notices about hours changing. Are spring break hours likely to be pushed later, or do you think some parks may end up opening earlier? I'm trying to plan dining reservations so we can make the best use of our time. This is my kid's first trip and had to be rescheduled several times since the original trip was supposed to be at the end of March 2020. Thanks and roll tide from an Alabama alumnus. Laura, roll tide. Natty champs. Okay, Ricky. So what is the likelihood of park hours changing for March at this point in mid-January?
I mean, they possibly could, but I think we're getting to that point where they're probably not going to. So yeah, I think that it's possible. I don't know whether, it would go, I think she asked earlier or later. I mean, it kind of depends on the park, I think. At Animal Kingdom, if they have like a 9 o'clock park opening right now, I could easily see it go to 8 or something along those lines. But always keep checking. I mean, we've even seen it now. Obviously, this was before, but we've even seen it when the parks you were there that day and they extend the hours. So it was rare, but it sometimes happened. So again, just keep an eye on it. You never know what can happen. So it's kind of the best advice I can give.
I always say go with the posted hours and just hope that you get bumped, right?
Yeah.
I mean, things are flexible and you can make it work, but yeah.
And the other thing is too, they have been more inclined to, let's say, delay the whole, open later, like stay open later than open earlier.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the Pop Century room decorations, which I'm totally hung up on now. Teresa in the live chat says, We were on an upper floor at Pop Century for Christmas 2019 and put holiday decals on our windows and other decor in our room. Fun side note. One room we walked by had full-size inflatables in the room.
No.
You're committed if you're doing that, really and truly.
But that's a hack, right? Because an inflatable, you can, like, when it's uninflated, like it's just a little, it's like in a sleeve in your suitcase. I mean, dude, that Christmas tree and a train set was in that one room. They had to have been locals. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got to find that. I'm not kidding. I'm stuck on that again because I still couldn't believe it. I was like, and I just kept going by it. Like, okay, I'm going to see like Santa is sleeping. This is Santa's room. He's going to be full on in the suit. Like he's in drinking milk, like laying on the bed, watching Stacy, like just kick back. Like, this is my room. Back off. But
no, I agree. I think that's so funny, but what a great idea.
It was great. It was so weird though. Like, put something on the door. Tell me whose room is this? Is this Pop Century just trying to mess with me? Is this the people next door? They're super Christmas fans. I don't know. Like, but I got to know. Like, tell me. I mean, it's a decade later and I'm still hung up. So anyway, Carrie's got a question in the inbox. Carrie in Michigan. Hey, Mike, I'm writing on behalf of my brother who has his DVC room booked for the week of the 50th anniversary, but he did not buy tickets and just saw that reservations for the Magic Kingdom are now unavailable on October 1st. Assuming more will become available as capacity is increased, what's the best route for him to know when reservations are released so he can get to them right away? I told him I'd ask my favorite Walt Disney World guru to see what you might have as far as advice. Thanks, Carrie. So we've been preaching this since this theme park reservation system happened. You want to get your tickets and you want to get your tickets ASAP. You want to get your tickets now and make your theme park reservations now. Not not tomorrow. You want to make them now because those things can be golden, especially around the 50th. So Pam, talk us through the situation. You just want to get those tickets. And I don't know if we're going to know like when things maybe loosen up. I don't think they're going to like make it. This is going to happen, I think.
Yeah. So one of the things is that this is a live reservation system. So if someone drops a reservation for that day, it is going to become available in the system. That's how it works. So what you're going to want to do is set up regular reminders, make it part of your daily routine. Just check once a day. Check first thing in the morning to see if it's available. Boom, done, move on. Or whenever, whatever point during the day that you want to. It takes, really literally like 30 seconds or so. Watch and see on social media. We'll post if some additional park reservations become available for those times, but it's going to be a popular time. Hopefully something will open up and you'll be able to go at that point. But yeah, absolutely. And I say not only for this 50th anniversary, but if you're going and plan to it anytime in 2021. And the easiest way to do that is to make a reservation that is a package that includes tickets, because then you don't have the outlay of expense for the tickets. You just have to pay the $200 package deposit and you're able to make park reservations at that time. So,
and the thing is, I've been doing this since this whole park reservation system for guests happened. We, like you said, it's a $200 deposit, whether you have a 3-day ticket or a 10-day ticket, it doesn't matter. You know what? So what we're doing is for my guests, and some people have annual passes and they're just like, but my annual pass doesn't go, I don't know if I'll have an annual pass in October because my pass is going to expire in May, or it's going to expire in April, whatever. So we put those tickets on there. And the thing is if something happens and you end up with an annual pass or other ticket media, we can still make that what's called a basic package. So we can later on pull those tickets back down. You still have your room and then you still keep your theme park reservations intact. So packages are the way to go. I mean, there's no doubt about it right now, because you're not gonna end up with 2 sets of tickets. We can pull one down if we have to, but if you don't have tickets, you're playing with fire right now.
Agreed.
All right, so next question is from Sue, and she says it's about podcast 1832 when we talked about Magical Express retirement. She says, "Hey Pam, Mike, and Ricky, Happy New Year! I just listened to the podcast where you discussed the retirement of Disney. I like that retirement. They're gonna have a big party, a cake, and
go off to greener pasture.
Yes, the bus is gonna go off with some golf clubs or something. That's gonna be fun." She said about the retirement of Disney's Magical Express. This is very sad news for me. I love Disney's Magical Express. Just the convenience, the cost, free, and not dragging luggage around. We have always had a very good experience with the service. The other thing I really like about it was, since I have recently made several solo trips, is the safety. I have not used Uber or Lyft and thought of doing it solo makes me a little nervous. I wouldn't rent a car for several reasons: cost of the rental, cost of park, and I just wouldn't want to navigate my way around. Just my 2 cents. Thanks for everything you do. Love the site, the podcast, the travel agency. Mike is my agent. Thanks, and have a great weekend, Sue. I love Sue. That's awesome. And I love those thoughts. I mean, she makes great points. Again, here's the thing. We talked about this on the live call-in show this past Sunday night. And we can continue this, in a couple nights here as we do this week's on Sunday night. I think the thing is, if you're from more of a metropolitan area, say if you're from a New York City or you're from a Washington, D.C. or Los Angeles or, what have you, I think rideshare is something that has just become a part of your life, maybe in the last 3, 4, 5 years, right? The only time I've taken a lot of Ubers and but I'm a 6'3" dude. And it's a little bit different, I think, for me than if Paige was taking an Uber by herself. I'm not saying I would be nervous for her because I trust her, but I mean, yeah, I'm a dad. I would get a little worried. But the thing is, I've only ever taken an Uber at Walt Disney World. I just don't do it in my everyday life. So I understand where this is a very uncomfortable kind of thing with ride shares for people that are from places that are not, if you live out in the country, you're not going to do a ride share. It's just not something that happens. So I get all those concerns, but I also think when 2022 hits, we're going to have options and safe options where everybody's going to feel comfortable to get to and from Walt Disney World. I mean, Pam, you guys rent cars, but I just think that we're going to have probably 5 or 6 different ways to get there, and you'll just pick what works best for you.
I agree. There's not going to be this void in the marketplace. I think that some transportation company will step up and fulfill that in terms of shuttle transportation from the airport to Disney Springs. We've talked a little bit about the fact that there is this high-speed train that is supposed to happen. I know that that's not going to be ready right away, but I can't imagine that they're going to Disney Springs if they haven't, of course, already had strategic talks with Walt Disney World as to what that will look like and how that will be. And maybe it will be that Disney offers some additional transportation from what will have to be a small station or dropping off point to the resort hotels at that point. I don't know. I don't have any insider information to it, but I do trust the process of capitalism and that someone will see a need in this space and make it happen for us. And there will absolutely be a safe transportation option for you.
Yeah.
And the good thing about ride shares, again, I would think twice, but here's the thing, the good news about ride shares where I feel a lot more comfortable. And again, I'm not an expert at it because I only do it at Walt Disney World. I've never done a ride share in St. Louis, obviously, because I have my own car here. We live out in the suburbs, but the thing is they're based on a rating system in the app. So you're very unlikely to get somebody that's going to make you feel uncomfortable because you are going to, before you actually commit to that person picking you up, you can check them out and say, oh, they've done 728 rides and they're a 4.92. And there's always somebody in there that's never happy all the time anyway. So, you're probably not going to get a 5 out of 5 with somebody that's done a ton of runs. Yeah. So I'm just saying that is kind of a built-in safety issue as far as quality of service and your personal safety. But I get it. I mean, if you're not from it's a leap of faith. The first time I got an Uber, I was like, dude, I'm getting in some random person's car. It's like a Celica or something, it's I don't know what's going on, but it is, there are kind of little safety steps throughout there to keep you comfortable and safe. Ricky, I mean, what do you think about that?
Absolutely. I mean, I've done Ubers by myself. I tend to do those more with Brian, but I have done them by myself. I tend to mostly do rental cars when I'm by myself. But again, for those who maybe haven't used an Uber or Lyft, they're in the app. They do have the ability to share your route with somebody. So if you are a little nervous, you can share, the route that the person is taking with another person who's not in the car, which is kind of a handy little tool. So again, if you're just a little nervous, that might be something that you would look into. Renting a car in Orlando, it's really not that bad. I know that a lot of people are kind of nervous about it. Driving in Orlando. Orlando is pretty easy to navigate, all things considered. I mean, I get it. It's a trust me, when you go to a different place and you're like, where do I go? I get how it can easily freak somebody out. It's freaked me out when I've gone places where I have no idea where I'm going. But right now with GPS, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we're not using, trip ticks anymore. We're just
exactly. GPS is going to tell you turn by turn. Hey, you went the wrong way. Go, here's the way to get back to where you need to go to get to where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with GPS, that's a super easy way to handle things. I personally, I feel very comfortable running a car in Orlando, and like I said, by myself even. But I get it. It's not for everyone. And look, I understand. The convenience factor was huge with Magical Express. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely get that. But like Pam said, I'm sure that there will be other options that come available that we don't even know about right now because they haven't been thought of, because Magical Express has been around for, 15 years at this point. So, things that maybe used to exist before Magical Express that went away because Magical Express, existed, those kinds of things may be coming back. So we may get more of a town car situation that pops up. I mean, you don't know what's going to come about with these changes, but I can guarantee you something will, because it's like Mike and Pam and I have all talked about, the market is ripe for something at this point. I am sure that something will come about, and I get the uneasiness as a woman who travels alone, often. I understand 100%. But I definitely have felt safe, running cars when I've been at Walt Disney World. So I just kind of want to throw that out there.
I'm just saying, it's so cool to go down the escalator and somebody's standing there in a suit with your name on an iPad.
Yes.
It's like, dude, that is the one of the top 5 moments of your life. It's like up there with like getting married. Like, you've made, it's like that old Bud Light commercial where it's like, are you Dr. Drinkowitz? Yes, I am. That's it. Drinkowitz is our football coach. That is not the name that was in the commercial. Okay, last question of the day comes from John. He's in Pinkerington, Ohio. Hey, BOGP crew. I know you're all big fans of the cavalcades at Walt Disney World. However, once they bring back special after-hours events like the Halloween party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, do you think they will add back the parades for those? And if they keep the special holiday cavalcades throughout the day, do you think those party parades will be as special as they used to be? I guess the big question is, will the parties still be worth the big ticket price since the parade was one of the main attractions for those events? Thanks for all you do. Love your podcast and the fun you guys have together. They have brightened my days during these dark months of COVID. My wife keeps asking why I listen to these Disney podcasts when we aren't even going right now. And I just say that they make me happy. Best regards, John. So how cool. Seriously, that is like right there is why we do the show. That's awesome. I'm so glad that we could share a few laughs. I always say, if we can share a few laughs every now and then, you maybe get a couple of nuggets out there that make your trip better, we've done our job. So thank you, John. That means a lot. Okay, so that's a good point, though. I mean, if they're giving us the parades in small pieces for free, say later on this year, if things go back to normal and they put out Mickey's the Halloween party, does it cut into the premium, Ricky? I mean, does it make you think twice? Like if the parade is kind of given to you on a normal day in small doses?
It doesn't make me think twice because the parade is special as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen the cavalcades and it's like a piece of the parade, so it's not like the whole parade. You're only getting a small little nugget. So for me, like getting to see the whole parade in its entirety is the part that's awesome, as well as the lighting that happens. You don't get that same lighting necessarily that happens during the daytime that you would at the nighttime with the parade. So that's a big plus too. And, really, the parade's not the only part about the special parties that, is the best part. Like it's a part and it's a good part, but, you will have fireworks again. You will have, with the Halloween party, trick-or-treating. You will have, the cookies and hot cocoa at the Christmas party. You'll have, hopefully they'll have those special versions of attractions again, Space Mountain for both the Halloween party and the Christmas party were some of the most intense things I've ever done in my life, so those are kind of cool. So there will be other aspects of the parties that will still make the parties worth it, even if they kept the cavalcades during the day, because the cavalcades, like I said, they're just little small nuggets. So, and hey, maybe it might make people decide, hey, that parade, little parade was cool. I want to go see the rest of it. So they might.
Those are all great points. I mean, Ashlyn says a little free sample. She's exactly right. That's what she said. The cavalcade with a free sample.
Great.
Come to the. I think what it is about the parade or the parties, like it's that exclusivity. Like you're doing something that's super special. Limited crowds, a lot of stuff you can only do. Like the Magic Kingdom just takes on a different feel during a hard ticket event. It's the ultimate kind of feel for a Disney fan.
Absolutely.
It's hard to say what it is, but it's. Absolutely. And I was just thinking about this. Remember back in the day when WDW Today podcast with the old guys, they did that podcast that stirred everybody up. It was called the $50 cookie for the Christmas party.
Yes.
Dude, you wish that cookie was only $50.
I know. I totally wish it was $50 now. Wow. Yeah.
Holy cow. The party was $50. Oh my gosh. That'd be awesome. Yes.
Now. Ha-ha.
So Pam, I mean, do you kind of agree? It's like that exclusivity. It's kind of the whole package. It's really hard. It's hard to even say tangibly like what it is, but it's just like knowing you're going to the party that night that makes it fun.
I agree. And let's say that the party, let's look into our little not crystal ball because we don't have any idea whether this is happening. But let's say that the parties are the first time that they're able to introduce fireworks again. Is that going to be worth it to you, regardless of what went on with the, the cavalcades during the day? It could be. I could see something where they could control the crowds, happening. The parades being, the parties being that first opportunity to do that. So that may be some of it. We'll just see. I mean, Disney, I really think I have to give them credit in that they've been very creative in solving some of the things that I thought, oh my gosh, no way. This is going to be an issue for them. They're going to struggle. They're going to whatever. How are they going to open? All these things. They've done a great job in finding creative solutions to things. So I'm just going to trust that they'll be able to find them in this situation too.
Great points. All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's show. Again, if you have listener questions, send those to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com or join us on Monday nights as we record live on Facebook and YouTube, usually around 5:45 Eastern. We have a lot of fun before the show and after. So just come on in and Monday, have some fun with us. Don't forget also this Sunday night, it's 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We take your calls. So we'll be talking all things Disney. So you can get in on the show. And we put those out the following Thursday. Today's show, of course, brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Like I said on Wednesday, great discounts out there right now. You can get 2 free days of tickets with select packages. You can get some awesome room discounts like we are at a deluxe resort. That's usually the way to go. But we'll do all that math for you. You don't have to worry about the math. I used to teach math. Now I do math and have a good time. It's magical math, which I love. So just drop by the Magic for Less. You can see all the specials right there on the top of the page, resort guides, all the fun stuff. And then fill out the quote form, put some dates, put a couple of resorts, let us know who's going and we'll get you some pricing and availability and get that ball rolling for you. And before you know it, you'll be walking down Main Street whistling right down the middle of me. And then you got to send me a pic. That's it. You're having fun. That's my payoff. All right. So check them out today and let's get you down to Walt Disney World here in 2021. It's going to be great over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And again, patrons, you guys are awesome. You're carrying the show right now and I appreciate it so much. Just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on social media, Instagram and Twitter at beourguestpod and at beourguestmike. And please do subscribe to the shows on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for the Be Our Guest Podcast. And again, see you Sunday night for the live show on Facebook and YouTube over at this Sunday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. All right, time to get out of here and let you get on with your weekend. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. Hopefully we did share a couple laughs today and some fun nuggets. And if we didn't, hey, we'll try again next week. I mean, we've done a lot of shows. They can't all be.
That's all we can do. Show up and
try. I mean, even the best baseball player doesn't hit a home run every time. They got to throw in a single and every time. Yeah, it happens. All right, we are going to get out of here. Have a great weekend. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike saying stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All right, go couch shopping. No, just kidding.
Oh my gosh. I was telling Mike a story about couch shopping.
Exciting.
4 to 6 months to get a couch.
What?
I demand COVID.
COVID.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. I'm sorry.
They found the excuse for everything. I'm like, if you go into the grocery store and people aren't nice, they're like COVID. I'm like,
That's true.
time.
Yeah, eventually, like it can't be everything. Like it's a lot. It's a lot, but not every.
It can't be everything, but yeah.
And I feel bad for Jay. You're right. He got his lot there for the fireworks, and then, but it'll be worth it. He's playing a long game.
Yes, exactly.
We'll have fireworks when I'll have nothing up my back window except a little ear or something.
Pretty much. Yep.
So who wins? All right. Well, I'll let you guys get out of here because I know you guys got stuff to do. So we'll do it again.
All right.